Welcome back, everybody, to Warlord of SBAS plays Torment, Ties in Numenera, episode 27. Last time, we talked to a bunch of Psychic War veterans. Got a mission from Zyobi, to find out which one of our friends is a psychic projection. So we're doing that, and we also got a mission for the one we're talking to now. Someone of the Bloom, I can't remember his name. To find out. Apparently, one of his enemies is in this bar, and we have to figure out which one it is. But we'll continue talking to him about his friends, see who they are. So tell me about Thesaurus. Thesaurus, despite his terrible complexion, gaunt face, bird-like nose, and questionable taste of haberdashery, actually, I'm trying to think of redeeming qualities that might offset all of this. I'm right here, you know. He ignores his friend. Oh yes, despite all his obvious disadvantages, Thesaurus has become one of the preeminent warriors of language in the entire world. You can laugh, but the old saying is undeniably true. The tongue with the words is deadlier than the hand with the sword. Unless the sword hand gets to you before you can make someone else get in their way, he mutters. He laughs. You can plant words in your mind that will activate and weaponize your body against itself. With a word, you can spin loose inside your skull. He knows the hidden receptors and compartments of the mind, and he can whisper lock you dead. That's a fair enough assessment, eh? His friend nods. Zyobi, tell me about Zyobi. Let's not. Nonsense, Zyobi is our enforcer, or our telekinetic. She summons visions of us to distract our foes. Projectiles projects deadly energy and harnesses the power of the psychic world to anchor us to our enemies, while we deliver the killing blow. She also lets us focus on our energy through her. She is what you might call our heavy weaponry, because she makes the immaterial world much more tangible. While we frolic in the playgrounds of the mind, she's concerned with more earthly matters. How poetic, you old scholar. Scholark? Surely you took the word straight from my... Why, you dirty thief. Haha. He holds his hands up in surrender. We were practically shouting, Zaba. How could I help but listen? Fork. He doesn't look toward the bar, but his mood turns somber. A true empath, our spotter, but when we could do the work. A brave man aware of the risks he took. Physically sensitive. Able to catch the lure of the adversaries, willing to run with it. If it hadn't been for him, we'd never have had the success we had. He looks down at the table. Last one we fought caught him. It took his. He pauses, lost in thought. She steps back. It took some of the things that make him special. He can't spot for us anymore. His powers aren't what they were. He's a shadow of his older self. But the old skit sucker has our thanks anyway. He raises his glass toward the bartender, who drops it in the table as Zaba punches his arm. Ow. Ow. That's bad luck, you know. Don't you speak ill word about him, the Boars. Not after what he did. You know how I feel about Fork, Zaba. Yeah, she switched to the look left in his glass, and his head and voice lowered. Before he lost his powers, he was one of the best of our team. One of the best I've ever known. They all nod. He cackles. But don't tell him I said so. Zaba punched him again. How about Lido? She's our seer, our persistent. She knows where the adversaries were going to be. She knows when they'd be there, so we could set ourselves up in time. His voice is somber, but they grew wise to her. They threw themselves through the probability space, played the game of maybe with her, and they were better at than she was. Not so loud, he murmurs. Not so loud, he murmurs. It wasn't her fault. I never said it was. He radiates tension. The adversaries got better than. The adversary got better than all of us. We're lucky that they only. He wipes the tear from his eyes. We're lucky we only took the losses we did. How did you all come to this place? Frowns. It called to us. It was a beacon. It was warm and welcoming. First time I set foot inside this doors, noise from the outside world lessened. It didn't disappear. I could focus and hear it as I wish, but I could let down my guard and relax. He looks out around the room. I'd wager the same is true for all the others. I talked about something else. Alright, we talked to you about everything, I believe. Alright.
I am the very soul of action.
Cool. The Boris. Are you the psychic projection? You. Oh, god damn it. Hold on. Pathing issue. Alright.
With alacrity.
There we go. Now I'll talk to the Boris. Do you actually agree with Dama? That action is its own reward. He seems particularly sorrow about this. You know that good wishes don't get the landlord off your back, right? Satisfaction for a job well done doesn't magically bring food to the table. You and Dama both. It's like you believe it in a special world where people get to be on the force of good nature. But it's not like that. Maybe in stores, not there. You do the right thing because it's the right. He shakes his head. Idealist, bah. No, talking to people about this. Zawa says one of the veterans is second projection. Is it you? The second projection. Well, that's an interesting way to word it, see? He tilts his head toward Zaba. Couldn't you say that we're all psychic projections? In one way or another? He leans in. Put it this way. Are you always here how I picture you? Does your behavior change based on my thoughts? Yes, depending on the image anyway. I might change my behavior to improve your opinion. So you're influenced by my thoughts. But are my thoughts the whole of you? If they are, then you're my imagination in the converse. You'd say we're one consciousness subjectively experience itself, and that means we're all each other's and your own psychic projections. He takes a slow, reflective breath. But we're also autonomous, huh? That is some degree. You exist when I'm not paying attention to you. Pretty sure I'm not. I've no need to imagine someone like you. We might as well say that we're all interconnected at a fundamental level, but that our thoughts and actions have effects on each other. It might not be reality. That is the truth. But we each have a perception of a truth. It's a guiding star that we use to live our lives. It's not reality for everyone, but it's a reality for us. It's our story. He rolls his eyes. Oh no, Zaba, the horse is getting started again. Hush you, I'm lecturing. He turns back to you. Even if we don't understand reality, we understand stories, so maybe our best gauge for how we experience each other is through the stories we know and the words we use when we tell those stories. He laughs. What I'm really telling you is that I'm not Zaba's projecting. Maybe learn some of our tales, and you'll get the truth. A truth anyway. Okay.
Naturally.
Now that my head hurts. Alright. Leto. Alright, just making sure. Zaba says one of you is second projection. Are you the projection for the... or are you real? Who can say what reality is? I see strands of possibilities tying the future and the past together. Probabilities grow and decrease. Is a small probability a reality? In one universe, it will be. In another, it has vanished into the web of might have beens. An opportunity, or nostalgia, or gratitude at affording it. I tell you that reality is more than our perception of time. It exists beyond us. What is in the past extends into the future. Just touch the threads of the past, and you can see the intended shape. Know that it is that you seek, and you will be able to discern your reality. Ha! What are you even saying, Leto? A smile touches her lips. Only that one who would question reality must know how the reality should behave. She focuses on you more, faces you more fully. I am not the projection you seek. Okay.
Naturally.
So, Ferk. How can I serve you today? Dama said you were blind. What does that mean? He laughs. It used to be spotted for this gang. Means I could sense the presence of the adversaries. Build an attractive playground for them and draw them after me. The last one I faced, though, his face falls and draws it into himself. It burned me out. It put out my eyes. It burned me out. It put out my... Then he is back to normal, smiling as if nothing had happened. Alright. Zaba challenged me by projection, blah blah blah. He laughed. Now why would I come right out and tell you if Zaba's playing a game? Why should I spoil her fun? Come on, puzzled out. Let me offer a clue. Know your subjects. I guess that's the kind of thing an empath would say. Eh? Zaba said I should focus on physicality. She did? How was this then? He concentrated momentarily, and bottles and glasses circulated in a convoluted pattern around his head. They settled back into place for a moment. How's that for physicality? Dama hinted I should touch you. He seems to consider for a moment. Fine, touch away. His flesh is hard and unyielding, as since steel. Clean living, he mutters. Thomas said I should not know about people's stories. And what stories do you want to question? I was a group spotter, an empath, until the adversary burned out that skill. That's basically all you need to know. Those said they were an empath, not telekinetic. Did she now? He looks over at her and frowns and shrugs. What if I developed telekinesis after the adversary stole my empath ability? Alright.
Let's go.
Everyone else said no, but you're questionable. I'm gonna go with you.
Yes. Now.
Everything says you. Make. I know who your second projection is. He laughs and crosses his arms. Who? No. 4.
I'm ready to become even more heroic.
Yay, level. She laughs delightedly. I won't even ask how you figured that out. If you guess, it was a lucky guess. But your instincts were right. But then her face falls. I began manifesting him after he was killed. He was our spotter, the man who saw the adversaries and lured them to our battleground. But the last adversary we fought, it was ready for us. It caught hold of the lore and he offered, and it followed his mind all the way to reality. It burned. She pauses and chokes back a sob. It burned him from the inside. She looks into the distance. He lured it to us, and with his dying will, nailed it into place. It was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice any of us would have made, Zaba, no matter who it was in that position. He speaks softly, as if trying to convince himself. She continues. The adversary didn't pay attention to us. Even as we poured our heaviest attacks into it, it was too absorbing and destroying fork, tearing it apart instead of defending itself, as if its first priority was in blinding us, instead of preserving itself. Voice turns hard. We beat it though, so as long as I'm breathing, I'll keep his memory alive. We'll serve his drinks and make his bad jokes. Everyone here will feel welcome. It's the least I can do in his name. Alright. Alright, so level. Alright, make sure no one else level. Okay, so I only get approved skills for this level. Let's see. He's our heavy hitter, hit things guy. More health would be nice. Moving more quickly, healing. Better healing. Persuasion, I don't really use him to talk. Smashing. So making him better at breaking stuff. Only have 1. I'll go with endurance. Give him a little health boost since he's going to be our tank. Confirm. You reached your 2 abilities. Elbow grease. Those 5 bonus gain from each level of effort spent smashing. Alright. Ooh, kinetic overdrive. Gain. Is this just temporary? Introduce a stronger infection than other heroes. Than any heroes, really. After all, he's the greatest hero who ever lived. Heh. Alright, so. Plus 3 to might and speed. Yeah, shit. That sounds good. Do that. Alright. Attack an arc in front of you, dealing weapon damage to all enemies who fall. Fail to evade and hook. Snare target with a grappling hook and pull them toward you. Ooh. I like both of these. But he's probably going to be most likely surrounded, but pulling an enemy away from one of us is also good. Oh man, these are both good. False sweep. Just because he's most likely to be surrounded. Suction skill, heavy weapons, medium weapons, range weapons, light melee. Heavy. What's the game? Okay, they do give a Do any melee weapons or cannon-like ranged weapon? Shit, I can get a cannon? Sweet. Holy shit, I can get rifles? Man, I didn't even know that half of these weapons existed in this game. That's awesome. I'm not going to use ranged with him. I'm not going to use light weapons. Wielding swords, axes, maces, quarters, steady. Strong. Alright, so this is basically just all melee. And since he's wearing using a two-handed sword, and actually even bump up heavy weapons. Confirm. That's actually a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, because I just reached tier 2. The leveling system is weird. I actually looked at it, and it goes by steps 1, 2, 3, 4. If that things would go away, but tier. But you also go steps and tiers. He just tiered up to tier 2. I am gonna be tier 2 next level. She went tier 2 last level. And she basically just started, so she has nothing. And then the god of hiding. She's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to see how she levels.
You know, Calistesias, you should settle down. Make a little town of yourselves.
Really?
You could even raise a barn or two, maybe next to a babbling brook.
I've already heard enough babbling.
I like their relationship. Alright.
Yes.
So now I had to go around, see if I could find enemy. So let's see, I got Ghostly Woman, Soulkeeper, Yusuga, Zero, and Clarion. Oh, let's go with Clarion first. This young woman wears finely polished armor and paces back and forth restlessly on the walkway. Her long hair is lustrous and healthy, and her whole form exudes wholesome vitality. When she sees you, she raises her voice in greeting. Welcome, friend. To the fifth eye, she strides closer to and speak more softly. You come at an exciting time. I have been trying to convince some veteran warriors of the eminent suitability to join in this battle. So far, they have rebuffed me, but perhaps you can succeed where I have failed. Tell me about yourself. I am Clarion. I seek strong warriors, brave souls, to fight in the endless battle, to hold back the advance of the enemy. What can you tell me about the endless battle? Much as it sounds, she says, it's stemmed from a rift between the changing god and one of his offspring, and has endured for hundreds of years, raging over the same battlefield using the deadliest technology of the ancients, and the landscape is scarred and pitted beyond recognition. The walls between the dimensions are thin there. Every day, hordes cross into our world. She stands arms akimbo. Worse, in recent years, the struggle has expanded. Nearby settlements found to provide material support for the combatants are existing there long before the two sides came to rage on their borders, have been engulfed by their spreading chaos. She found it is not too late to change the course of the battle. If only more warriors of proven metal would join the fight. This is why I'm here. That's why I beg for your help. A glorious conflict. So many have grown strong in its wake. What side are you recruiting for? The changing gods. He has always been the patron of Sid's Cliffs. Perhaps we would not exist if not for his lives and his cast-offs. Certainly we would not be as we are. She pauses. But that is not the only reason. The changing god forces have allied with the towns and visitors of the Verlaxian waste. We seek to prevent the endless battle from expanding beyond his borders, growing in size once again. The enemy has attempted to sweep across the plain before. They tricked the changing god's allies centuries ago, destroying an army of Sand Knights and took half the settlements in the waste. We won't let them do it again. Who is the enemy you're fighting? The armies of the first cast-off. We have never been friends to the people of such cliffs. Oh. They have never been. She frowns. The first cast-off is long dead, but still her forces hold a grudge against her sire and his patron city. Tell you anything about the fetching? They have fought in countless battles and emerged victorious. They have made decisive forays and turned entire wars. They are clever and thoughtful, though I know only the reputation. The third inversion, for instance, they saw them reach into a new dimension, and I won't bore you with the details, but they were integral in an offensive that would have changed the course of the conflict. Why are you trying to recruit the veterans? Perhaps they're tired of war. She shakes her head. Conflict shapes us all. It sharpens us, makes us stronger than we ever thought we could be. If you hide from it, you'll never know what you might have become. Or worse, you'll be easy prey for those who are stronger or crueler than you. She clutches your shoulder. These veterans have grown tired and complacent. I want to help them recapture what they lost. No. I want to make them even greater than they were. Even if they become prey, it will make whomever hunts them very strong. If I help you, will I get a reward? Of course, I'm not a wealthy woman, but I will have allies in the city who are. The more veterans you convince to join the battle, the more you will be paid. I don't know if I want to help you. It just seems off. I'll think about it. I'll end the episode here, since we're pretty much at the time anyway. So until next time, remember, embrace the chaos or you'll go mad. Bye!